What's up, everybody? Welcome to Best Massage Tech, where today I'm taking a look at the Mebak 3 massage gun. Mebak is a company that just crushes it in Amazon sales when it comes to massage guns. The Mebak 3 specifically has over 12,400 reviews, and most of those are 5-star reviews. So one of these devices that I just had to check out, see what all the hype was all about. So today I'll start by taking a look at what comes with the device out of the box. I'll talk about some of the features and specifications. I'll show myself using it, and then I'll just talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons at the end of the video. So out of the box, everything fits in this case here. It's got sort of this metallic black patterned finish to it. The case itself is pretty small. It's probably about, 8 inches by 12 inches roughly. It is a pretty sturdy case. You've got the Mebak branding on the front of it here. You've got 2 zippers. You have a handle with a rubber grip. If you go ahead and open the case, you'll see everything that comes with the device has its own spot inside the case. So as I open it here, you've got the instruction manual at the top, but then the lower half, you've got the device, your attachments, and charging cord. So I'll start by taking a look at the top and just the quick little user manual here. It's nothing long, nothing special. It's just all orange, black, and white. It just talks about some of the attachments, how to charge it, how to use it. If you have not used one of these before, make sure you read this before your first use. Warranty information in the back. And then behind that, you've got a little bag here. It's got kind of some little rubber O-rings. A lot of different devices on Amazon typically do include these. What these are, these little O-rings go on the attachment heads themselves. And so I've never had one break, but in the event that one would break, it'd be a pretty difficult piece to go ahead and get just one of. So they go ahead and include 5 of those right off the bat. So if ever you have a situation where one of those breaks, just go ahead and put one of those new ones on. And speaking of attachments, I will go ahead and just show those quick. So you got this little carrying case. It's got the Mebak branding on it as well. Let's see if I can show that here. Now this material here is a little bit different than the outside of the other case itself. This is an all fabric. And inside of this, you have 5 attachments, and then 2 additional attachments actually have their own place inside the general case. So just since I'm mentioning these, I'll go ahead and talk about the attachments here. It does come with 7 different attachments. So you have a firm foam ball here. It's got a little bit of give. You have a hard plastic fork attachment. You have a hard plastic bullet attachment. You have a softer sort of cushion attachment. So this has got a lot of give to it, kind of like an air pocket. It's sort of got this oval shape to it. And then the last one in this little case is this sort of, I call this an edge. I think they call it a shovel. It's just a little flat edge, a hard plastic attachment. Now, as I'm going through these two, all these attachments do just easily insert into the device and pull out. And then the last 2 attachments that come in the case itself are a hard plastic flat attachment and then a hard plastic flat attachment that has some bumps on it. So 7 different attachments. They're all pretty small compared to like at least the shaft part of it here is pretty narrow compared to other massage guns that I've seen. I typically tend to lean towards the flat head attachment or the foam ball attachment. They're pretty much the most common. You're gonna get those with almost every massage gun. So that's the attachments. Next, you have the device itself. The device itself, pretty standard looking. This is sort of a matte gray plastic. You've got some fan vents on the top. You see the back here is a touch screen. The handle on this has got a sort of a rubber grip with some lines on it just for gripping. And then the bottom of it, you have an on-off switch and a charging port. Speaking of a charging port, it does also come with a charging cord. You see the back of that kind of has the same sort of metallic pattern as the case. In order to charge it, just go ahead and plug this in the wall and then plug this in the bottom. Now, when I plugged this in, I couldn't actually tell if it was charging at all, so I did go ahead and just flip the on switch. And when I turned it on the on switch, I could see my battery level on the back side of it here. So you see, right now I'm at 100%. That's what that number is. It's just displaying the battery life. So it does take about 3.5 hours to fully charge your device, and they do recommend that you do fully charge it before your first use. So as you'll see there, 100%, I'm fully charged up and ready to go. Now this device, obviously super popular on Amazon, but the big question is, what about the specifications and features of it? So this is advertised as a device that has a 12mm stroke length and a variable stall force up to 55 pounds of stall force. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the flat head attachment in here just so we can go ahead and test out a few of those things. So First thing I look at is the stroke length. So they advertise this as 12 millimeters. Again, that is the distance that this massage head is gonna move back and forth. I'm personally someone that prefers something that's a longer stroke length, typically in the 15 to 16 millimeters. Something in the 10 to 12 for me just feels a lot more vibrational, but it's important to test the accuracy of this. So they say 12 millimeters. I did measure it with a digital caliper and I can confirm it is 12 millimeters of stroke length. The next thing is the stall force, which they say is a variable stall force all the way up to 55 pounds. And it's variable in the sense that it's gonna change depending on what speed setting you're gonna use it on. So this is a 5-speed device, so I'm just gonna go ahead and test it on every speed and just see what the stall force looks like at each individual speed. So in order to turn the device on, again, power switch on the bottom. In order to turn on your lowest speed, just go ahead and touch the little fingerprint icon. And once I turn that on, it's gonna light up on the left side what speed I'm on. So you see there, lights up in blue, that's the first speed. So this first speed is said to be 30 pounds of stall force. I'm barely touching it here and it's stalling. So that's supposed to be 30 pounds. We'll go up to the next one, which is said to be 40 pounds. Doesn't really seem to be much different there. Next speed, this is the third speed, is supposed to be 45 pounds. A little bit of pushback there. Going up to the fourth speed, this is said to be 50 pounds. Again, barely pressing here. And then the highest speed is supposed to be 55 pounds. Seems a little bit stronger there on the highest speed, but still relatively easy to stall. And I just want to point out that you're probably only going to be pushing really hard on some of the big muscle groups, your glutes, your thighs, your quads, your hip flexors. Otherwise, most of the time, you should just kind of be floating over your tissues. Typically recommended to go about 1 inch a second. So just moving around and floating. So while stall force is important if you're looking for power and you're looking to get real deep tissue and press on some of those larger muscle groups, not the most important thing when you're looking at sort of an introductory level device, which I would consider this one to be. Now it is a 5-speed device, but unfortunately I couldn't find the individual speeds of each level anywhere in their instruction manual or on their Amazon review. But on Amazon it does say that the lowest speed is 640 percussions per minute and the highest speed is 3,200 percussions per minute. So pretty slow actually for that first speed. It's one of the slower percussions per minute that I've seen for the lowest level, but 3,200 is pretty standard. Most devices cap out right around there. So nothing too surprising there with the different speeds, but unfortunately I can't share the individual speeds, but I will just go ahead and show that first speed again. Again, this is 640 percussions per minute. And then I'll go all the way up to that top speed. And again, you just touch and cycle through here. So this is the 5th speed, 3,200 percussions per minute there. Now this device doesn't have any sort of Bluetooth compatibility, so you can't program it with your phone, you can't follow routines with it on your phone, anything like that. Battery life on this is about 2.5 hours. They say it's somewhere between 2 and 3, depending on what speed, how frequent, what force you're applying against it. Again, it does take 3.5 hours to fully charge it. The battery on this is not removable, so this is a fully encased battery in this, so you're not gonna be able to take it out and swap it out for a fully charged battery or anything like that. It's not an adjustable device, so it is fixed at this 90-degree angle. The noise on this, they claim that it's 35 to like 50 decibels. I measured it to be between 50 and 68, so it actually does get pretty loud compared to other devices on the highest speed. So I'll go ahead, again, just for sound purposes, this is pretty quiet here on the low speed, but as you get up to the higher speeds, you start to get just some little loose rattling sounds kind of up in this part of it. And some of that's just the attachment rattling around. Some of it can be some of the motor parts, but a little bit louder. But overall, you're not going to distract anybody with this. Relatively quiet. The weight of this is 1.98 pounds, so right under 2 pounds. It's a good weight. It's very well evenly distributed. I will say the handle's a little bit big, so if you do have small hands, it might be a little bit difficult for you to grip this, but overall, you know, good hand feel, good grip with that rubber handle on it. The price on this is probably one of the best features of it. So it's currently priced at $119. There is also a $10 coupon. So if you are gonna buy this on Amazon, which I will put a link in the description for, next to the price, there's a little box that just has a $10 coupon. I don't know if that's gonna be there forever, but it's there right now. So just click that before you put it in your cart. It'll take another $10 off, making this $109, which I don't often review massage guns that are this cheap, but given how many reviews it had on Amazon and how highly rated it was, this just might be my top pick for what I'll call a budget massage gun. Just at $109, that price is tough to beat. It does come with a 1-year warranty. It does have a 10-minute auto shut off, so if you're gonna be using this for an extended period of time, it's just gonna shut off after 10 minutes. You can just go ahead and turn it right back on. It's just a safety feature to make sure that the battery's not burning out if somehow it gets hit on while it's in a gym bag or something like that. It does come in 2 different colors, so I have the dark gray version. It also comes available in black. The black looks very similar, just it has a matte black finish instead of a matte gray finish. If I could offer just some critiques and some things that I like, don't like about it. So like I mentioned, the number one thing that I like about it is the price. I like the weight of it. It's super light, under 2 pounds. Mostly the case too. The case is probably one of the lightest cases. So with everything between your attachments and the case, it's probably right around 3 pounds. So pretty light, especially if you plan to travel with it. And then the last thing that I like is just this touch screen. I think it's super convenient to be able to just cycle through the speeds really quickly like that. But at the same token, it can get touched really easily if you just kind of bump it with even your whole palm here. It's gonna cycle and change. And actually that just reminds me, there is one other feature of this. So you see the speeds lit up on the left side, but on the right side, there's actually a force meter. So see if I can see the lights there. You got 2 green lights. As you press harder, it lights up. And so you can just use that if you're trying to have a consistent routine. No, I'm always gonna go yellow, I'm always gonna go green. If you're treating someone else, you can kind of make note of, okay, that's how deep I'm gonna go. But I would say a general case use sense, most people aren't gonna really pay attention to that, but that is just another feature that it has. If there's a couple things that are maybe offered that they could improve, I think the attachments themselves, well, it's great that there's so many of them. The fact that they're all hard plastic, they're real narrow like that. I do think, having sort of a rubber attachment is always beneficial. It's not necessarily the most comfortable, especially when you talk about an attachment like this, or even the bullet attachment. Having something real hard plastic like that jamming into you, not always the most comfortable. And then again, just a personal preference of mine, but the stroke length, I wish the stroke length was a little longer. I wish the stall force was higher too. I think whatever they're advertising there, not necessarily true, I don't think, at 55. I would say maybe at the high end, it's about 40. Definitely on the low end, it's like 20, it's not 30. I mean, you should not be able to stop it that easily. But again, overall, you're not gonna typically be pushing that hard on that. So that's just some of my personal preferences when it comes to some of those critiques there. But if you guys have specific questions, something that I maybe didn't cover, go ahead, check out the Amazon reviews first. There's a lot of good questions and answers on there. Otherwise, go ahead and just drop a comment down below in this video. I'd be glad to answer it to the best of my ability, just based on using it here. If you guys enjoy this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's how I continue to do great videos like this and review new products. Otherwise, that is the Mebak 3 massage gun. That's a review. Enjoy your recovery.